But okay, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so Alex, you said, how many days has Nashville dropped below zero since 2000? Now, him and I were talking in the break. So my guess, if I'm being educatedly smart, is 12 days. B.
B, 12 days. So a lot of people are guessing B.
What do they say? Tell us.
Tracy guessed C.
Okay.
One of the rare. No, C is not as many.
Okay.
Tiffany B. Ernie says B. Lorene says B. Eric says A. Sam B. Stella says B. Darla says B. BJ guessed A. Ryan guessed C. Victoria guessed B. Lisa says A. Chris says A. Ronald B. Judy A. So a lot of A's and B's.
A lot of A's and B's, not many C's.
Yeah, only 2 C's, but mostly B's. And you can hit the space bar. You can play it to see what the right answer is. And it's actually A.
Whoa, I tricked myself.
Yeah, well, here's the deal.
Okay, tell me.
There's some pretty interesting stats about it. And this is why I focused on it today, because it was really cool.
Okay.
So the last time we got below zero or at zero, but it was below zero, was in 2024. January 17th, we got to -1 in Nashville.
Which is funny. Alex reminds me of this today, and I can't remember it at all, but I can't even remember what I wore yesterday or ate yesterday, so that's okay. Go ahead.
And then before that, it was 2022 around Christmas, and you mentioned you were gone.
I was gone.
Yeah,
I was in the
December
Maldives.
23rd, we got to -1 as well.
I was away.
And that's it.
That was it? Those two is the
And
only...
That's why it seems like there's more. That's why it's kind of a tricky question, because we've had 2 within the last 3 or 4 years. But before that, the last time we got down below zero or at zero was in 1996. So 1996 to 2022, we didn't get below zero or even at zero. It's been above zero. So that's
some interesting stats, Alex, there.
26 years, 9,817 days. That's the record with the longest stretch without going zero or below in Nashville. So that was a crazy stretch. But let's go and talk about these other graphics, because
Go for it.
0 degrees temperatures, they've been relatively common lately. In the past 4 years, we've had 2 of them.
Yep.
But they weren't common that long stretch, 26 years. But before that, they are much more common. So you can see since 1873, that's when the good records started being kept. We've had 107 days of 0 or below.
In Nashville. Okay.
And so you can see.
So there were a lot more days. It's just, but before that time period, you're saying, and you said, what was it?
It was just that really long stretch, 1996 to 2022.
Okay.
We didn't get 0 or below.
Yep.
That's very abnormal, though.
That is very abnormal.
In the 1980s, we had 15 days with 0 below, just in that decade. And the 70s, the 60s, very cold, a lot of negative temperatures recording. But you can see, compared to other areas, Nashville has more than Knoxville, a lot more than Chattanooga and Memphis.
Knoxville surprised me, because I would think that closer to the mountains.
And there's the same thing with the average snowfall too. So I think there might be that downslope really affects them from the plateau,
the
Cumberland Plateau, because not only are they not as snowy, they're not as cold either. But obviously, the further north you go, the colder it is. So Bowling Green's recorded 183. Their data has been kept since 1894. And then Lexington, almost 300 days in their data since 1887. And then the next graphic.
Let me show you
this is really interesting. You go look across the country.
Here, I'm going to put this out real quick so everyone can see it. Okay.
So you can see, so the numbers are different, because the West Coast, a lot of their airports weren't recording good data until after World War II. So that's why I have it since 1950. Since 1950, Nashville has had 52 0 degree or lower days, sub-zero days. So basically, just under 1 a year, like 0.7 a year. So we don't get them every year.
Yes.
But if you look to the north, I lived in Minnesota. I lived in Duluth, Minnesota for a few years.
Oh, Minneapolis.
Yeah. 2,078 days. They've already recorded, I think, 30 in 2025, but that counts, the winter.
Well,
yeah. They've already, but I lived in Duluth, and I told you that stretch 10 days in a row where we didn't get above zero, the high temperature. And they've since 1950, they've seen over 3,000 days of temperatures where it got below zero.
No, thank you.
But the thing is, the oceans have a huge impact. New York City, you'd think, quite a bit further north, they've only recorded 16.
Wow.
And then people were wondering in the comments, because I posted this online as well, why does Washington, D.C. have more than New York? My guess is because the data from New York City is from the Central Park. So it's urban heat island, big time.
Yep, that's for sure.
Closer to the ocean, urban heat island. And then the Washington data is from the airport, which is actually a little further inland.
Correct.
So that's my guess there. And then Sacramento, Phoenix, Houston, Tampa, if you want to go, your whole life without seeing sub-zero, live there. Portland, on the Pacific Ocean, just 2 days of sub-zero since 1950. So
you know which one kind of interests me, because I used to work in Oklahoma City? to me, to think about that, I would think Oklahoma City would have more days than us because Oklahoma City has these wild swings of temperature, but that is very interesting.
Well, I double checked it because I
were thinking the same thing
too. Well, I had people in the comments saying, what Oklahoma City seems wrong. I double checked it, and that's the data there.
But I will say this, that our average low and high in the wintertime, we are actually colder average low and high than Philadelphia and New York. Like people think the north should be colder, but we're actually colder in the wintertime than they are. So just something to think about that when people think.
The ocean really has a big impact.
I would be curious about Boston because I used to work there too. You have to look that up for me.
I'm guessing, but Boston,
I'm guessing a lot, but not as much because it's by the ocean. It's not.
And the airport is right on the water. Logan.
Yeah,
is that where
they do
the data?
Where they would do the data.
Yeah, so my guess is probably around 100 or so since 1950. I can look into it.
You got to look into it for me because I'm just curious because you're thinking about it. This is great information, Alex. Thanks for bringing it to us. Hey, by the time it's 5:55, which means it's time to go. Hopefully you enjoyed our Weather Authority Live. Look at Alex's page on Facebook. He'll probably post some more stuff about it. If you want to know, he's got great questions. He's got great statistician. Like I call Dr. Daphne, you're the statistician on the thing. I love it.
We got a good team.
We got a good team. Got a lot of numbers. Got to go see it at 6, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Weather Authority Live. Take care.